We are Islamic Republic, Part 55. Why did Indians not have confidence in Simon Commission? In 1919, Act, Government of India Act had provided for a commission 10 years later to consult further reforms. In 1927, 2 years earlier than necessary, a commission was set up. Lord Birkenhead, the Secretary of State for India, wanted an early commission which a conservative government could control in the hope of obtaining cautious report. He was worried that if a Labour government took office in the future, it would give away too much power. There was opposition to the membership of the commission under Sir John Simon, as it was entirely British with no Indian representation at all. This was defended by Lord Birkenhead, who explained that if any Indian had been appointed, it would not have been possible to reach unanimous agreement. Birkenhead was also aware of Simon's view that Indian reforms should proceed very slowly. The way for the government to influence the outcome of the commission lay in who they appointed. The other members were also carefully selected so that they would be unlikely to come up with anything too favorable to Indian nationalists. These were obvious stallings. These were obviously stalling tactics to defer self-government. The members of the Simon Commission, Viscount Simon, a Liberal member of the House of Lords, Lord Burnham, Conservative member of the House of Lords, owner of the conservative newspaper, the Daily Telegraph, Lord Strathcona, Conservative member of the House of Lords and friend of Prime Minister Stanley Baldwin, George Lane Fox, Conservative member of the Parliament and brother in law of the Viceroy, Lord Irwin, Edward Cadogan, son of the 5th Earl of Cadogan and a Conservative member of the Parliament, Vernon Hotshon, Labour member of the Parliament and a former South Wales coal minister, Clement Attlee, Labour member of the Parliament and later the Prime Minister at the time of independence in 1947. Clement Attlee became the Prime Minister at the time of partition. At that time, he was just a member and he was a Labour member of the Parliament and he belonged to House of Commons. Why did Muslims oppose the Nehru Report? In response to the comments from the British that the Indian practices, in response to the comments from the British that the Indian parties, despite their criticism of British reforms, could not come up with a viable alternative, a committee was set up by All Parties Conference in 1928 under the chairmanship of Motilal Nehru, the father of independence, the father of independent India's Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. When the Simon Commission arrived in Bombay, they were greeted with black flags bearing the words Simon go back. The Congress decided to boycott the commission. The Muslim League was split. Muhammad Shafi of Punjab, president of the Muslim League in 1927, thought it would be best to try to influence the Simon Commission. But following the lead of Mr. Jinnah, a boycott was agreed. Instead, the Congress and the League cooperated in a committee under the chairmanship of Motilal Nehru. The job of the Nehru Commission was to come up with a constitutional proposal that would be acceptable to both Hindus and Muslims. Then they could present their proposals to the British in the name of both organizations.